Hello, everyone, and welcome to FTB Sports. Tonight, we are going to be doing a live preview show of Manchester United versus Manchester City derby game, EFL preview game. Tonight, we're joined by a special guest, H, season ticket holder at Manchester United. Welcome along, and with us, as always, present, Crazy Mank. Adam, how you doing? You all right, guys? How's your evening? Good?
Perfect. It's
Yeah.
all good. It's all good.
So, guys, go on.
I was going to say, we just wait for the Brentford to beat up Tottenham, and then we'll be winning tomorrow, and that's it. On to Wembley, another little title. That's what I'm waiting for.
So, what's this all about?
Don't forget, mate. I'm a season ticket holder as well.
Oh, very true as well. Very true. Armchair fans at your service, boys. So this thing now, before we even indulge in what we want to talk about, the greatest club in world football, let's talk about this Jurgen Klopp now and his crybaby antics, crying about United penalties.
I think it's a bit of a shame, really, that he's had to stoop so low, and he's obviously got some mental health issues. Lockdown and Tier 4 has been affecting him, I think, personally.
Crazy man, what's your thought on them? Because don't you find it right now, they're wobbling. These fans are wobbling at the moment. Can you hear us, Crazy man? I think, is he frozen? Is he frozen? I think he's frozen.
I think so. No, he's there.
He's there. I can see him, but he's not. Can he hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was saying about these Liverpool fans are wobbling. Yeah, we can hear you. What's the thoughts on these Liverpool fans wobbling at the moment? Yeah. It seems like the pressure is getting to them. No, he can't hear us.
Yeah, it's good to see, isn't it? It's good to see.
I'm buzzing with it, mate. I'm absolutely loving it at the moment. But remember, guys, we're still 2 to 3 years behind them because we're United. We're not that good, really, are we?
Nah, come on, Errol. Come on.
Yeah.
You know better than that.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, let's go. Let's stop talking about Liverpool because there's more important things to talk about. Even though saying that, I would prefer us to play our next Premier League game rather than playing these two games. I don't know what you guys are thinking about it, but I'm thinking about to be honest with you, the Burnley game couldn't come anytime sooner for me. I'd prefer play Burnley tomorrow, rather than playing this game. To go into that game, win that game with the momentum, miss the Watford game out, and then play Liverpool in that game, then play the Cup. What's your thoughts on that, guys? H.
I think, like, with them throwing a Burnley fixture in, it's obviously one of those that's kind of means that we've got to change our approach to all the rest of the matches. Like Ollie always says, it's like every game you prepare for. Personally speaking, I think obviously it's a bit. I think these League Cup final semi-finals are always a little bit earlier on. I think finals are always something that should be put towards the back end of the season once things are done. So I do agree with that. But we have to take these decisions by the FA for these and the Premier League and the League Cups and go positive with it. Whatever happens, we're United and we should be thinking that we're going to win every match, regardless whether we play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in a row. I think in terms of form, I think we're good on form. If we beat City, we will beat City.
We will beat them.
We will beat City. We will beat City, and I think that will just step us up nicely just for that Liverpool game. Perfectly, I think, personally.
Crazy man, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, like you say, ever since that result last night, I can't wait to play Burnley. I'd happily play them. I'd happily play that game tomorrow and completely scrap this League Cup just to see us back on top of the Premier League. It'd be nice to rub it in the old Scousers' faces. But yeah, I'm a bit sceptical about tomorrow night. I'm not sure how that's going to go. I don't know, because these players we have haven't been in a United team winning trophy after trophy, have they? So
No.
We kind of don't know how they're gonna react to this game, knowing in the back of their minds they're probably going top of the Premier League in their next game. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit on the fence with this one.
It worries me a little bit though, because obviously, like you said, it's a case of United. We don't have any natural winners like that. Won trophies in the Premier League. Obviously, you have De Gea. You've got Mata, who's won trophies, not with United. You obviously got the Rashfords of this world, who's won the Europa League and the League Cup. But at the same time, it's worrying. Well, it's worrying. Thinking we've got a squad of players. When the pressure kicks in, will they be able to handle it? What do you reckon, H?
For me, I've been saying it for a little while that the team was mixed in terms of experience. A lot of youth coming through. I think the fact that like Rashford, Greenwood, James, all the young players like McTominay have been thrown in these last couple of seasons, and the way that they've grown, it just shows. You've got players that have needed to prove themselves in the last few games, i.e. Pogba.
Yep.
He's obviously stepped up his performance, but some of the reasons why he wasn't performing well, he always had that niggling ankle injury. Anyone who plays football will always know that if you've got a niggling injury, it's going to linger for a bit of time. So I think like the momentum and I think the growth, considering we got into 3 semi-finals last season, to push on to win something and bring home some silverware is something that we need. We have to remember as well that we're not an Arsenal and we're not a Tottenham. We're Man United. So, we've still won things. Even though we've had 600-700 different managers, they've all done a little bit. So it's now Ollie's turn, and Ollie's a bit more long term. So I think this is the perfect opportunity to show that they've got the grit and teeth as players, as men, as mature men now,
100%.
to bring home that silverware.
What's your thing on it then, Crazy Man? Do you sort of think this is a time for Ole now? Because I know you're Ole in. Is it a big time now for him to sort of step up and basically deliver now this season with the players, even though, like I said, about confidence going into latter games in the Premier League? Because we're not talking about what game is coming up tomorrow. We're talking about what the latter games in the Premier Leagues.
To step up, I think he's more than done that already, given what happened in the summer. I don't think he got a single player he really wanted.
Yeah.
I think they were chosen by the board and they were cheap options.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I think that if they want to be serious about challenging this year, we're in a position to do so. But we're not even halfway through the season yet.
16 games played, so we just got to hold down and basically we're in a good position. Let's celebrate the good position we're in at the moment and then see what the next sort of 4 or 5 Premier League games brings us, because I think once we hit 20, 22 games, I think that's when the Premier League starts sort of like almost start setting itself into place where you think team's going to finish.
Yeah, and obviously I think the board have got to go with him. I think they got to. He's shown what he can do. We're nearly at the halfway point, and we're in a title, we're in a title challenge. So if he can add that 1 or 2 players, go to them, say, right, get these 1 or 2 players, and we can be serious now.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, we're all right. But if we had a couple of bad injuries, say if Fernandez got injured now, we're completely screwed.
There you go.
So, I don't think he has anything to prove at the moment. I think he's done more than enough in my eyes. Considering he should have been sacked by all the fans a month ago. So I'm
one of them fans.
One of them plastic fake fans. That's my thoughts on that. I think he's doing a great job. If he gets given some players. I know it's not always easy in January.
Yeah.
But if he gets given the right players, they don't have to be superstars. They just got to fit in and gel.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we can challenge,
Move in.
definitely, especially with everyone else being so unpredictable.
It's a good call as well. Very unpredictable. So, guys, I've gone through and I've made a team. I believe last time around when we done this, Adam, I got it spot on with the team. I got it spot on with the team. So I'm going to go for my team, and you guys can challenge me. Tell me what you think. The reason why you don't believe the players will get in the team. So we're going to start with goalkeeper. Henderson will start in goal tomorrow. What's your thoughts on that, Crazy Man?
I think you're a little bit deluded. Given Ollie's, given the history from last season, Ollie always goes for number one in the semi-final. I think he played Romero all the way through the competitions into the semis and then dropped him for De Gea.
Yeah.
Whether he'll learn from that, but I think the trouble is De Gea has been playing League Cup games as well. So I think he will stick with De Gea.
H?
I'm pretty confident he'll go with De Gea, if I'm honest. I think De Gea has shown the qualities that that we've seen from him. He's got his confidence back. He seems like, Austin Powers has had a word with him. He's given him his mojo. So, I think he's ready for it. I think we have to put that support and confidence in De Gea by showing him that, look, he is our number one choice.
Yeah.
That's the reason why Ollie stuck with him so much throughout the league, because he knows he needs someone who's reactive like that. I think this game is too big for us not to make it to the final, because after the failures of last season, I think De Gea is going to be the choice, mate. So
yeah, okay, fair enough. We'll go with the majority there, but yeah, for me, left back is going to be Telles. Now, I'm a big fan of his, a huge fan of his, because I think he does something different from what Luke Shaw is a better defender. Never not Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw is our number one defender. But at the same time, I believe this player does something that Luke Shaw probably doesn't do often enough. And that's basically get up to the opposition penalty box and cross the ball in. H, what's your thoughts on him? Because a lot of United fans are divided with him, to be honest with you.
I think for his first season, this is still a learning situation for him, learning who his team, like his players, the positions where they're going to be. I think the opportunities he's got, he's done well. Could he have done a bit better? Could his deliveries been a little bit more on point? I think the problem we have with Luke is, like you say, that he's always. I mean, he's a traditional left back, right? He's not a winger like Alex Telles is, like a wing back sort of player. Yeah. So I think you've always got that comparison, but probably not a fair comparison to Luke Shaw, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I think they probably will go with Telles. And I think personally, I think he's adapted well. I think he's shown that he's hungry for it. I think he wants to play, like a lot of players that have come for the paycheck.
Yeah.
But he's come to play for the club.
Yeah. Crazy Man. Now, I don't know. I think you're divided with him, aren't you?
Yeah, he's got a lot to learn. Obviously, first season here. But I don't think you can play Telles without playing Cavani, because that's all he knows. He knows how to cross a ball into a box. And, Shaw is great. With Martial, Rashford, the link-up play with Shaw is fantastic around the box.
Yeah.
And, for me, Shaw is undoubtedly the best left back we have.
Yeah.
But Telles, this might be a good one, because you never know what you're going to get with him, and he could come out and surprise you in a game like this. So,
Go on, sorry. Go on.
No, I'll be happy going with him for this game.
What I would say is as well, what I look at when I look in him as well is he's a player who will take a shot from 25, 30 yards out.
Yeah.
And that's something that United we don't have in our locker, in our left back or right backs.
We haven't had it really since Irwin, have we?
Yeah. So again, and then don't say Irwin. When you look at Gary Neville did try a few, didn't he? Also, Patrice Evra.
Yeah, but he was on the right back, and I think Evra scored about 3 goals. Come on.
Yeah.
Gary Neville. I think Gary Neville
exactly.
He scored 3 league goals in his whole
career.
But
one classic was against Liverpool, so we'll take that.
Yeah.
That made up for about 10. We'll take that.
No, Dennis Irwin had it all.
Oh, he did. He had a free kick in his locker as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, penalties, mate.
There you go.
It's everything. That's why I think like Tellez will be quite similar in the long run.
Yeah. And plus with Luke Shaw as well, touch wood, his injury is quite sort of severe, isn't it? This is probably one of his longest running seasons so far, isn't it? Really?
He was out at the start, wasn't he, for a couple of weeks?
Yeah, but yeah. So again, with Tellez, we'll take him. Okay, my favourite at centre back is Maguire. I think he's the captain and he will start this game. He won't be rested. I think, Adam, you were saying there was a stat with him the other day saying he played the most games in football at the moment.
He played the most minutes in 2020 in the whole world of football.
Yeah. A comment from Shay, Ole choking the semi-final, City all day.
Come on, Shane. Come on. Less of that. 1-0 up against Brentford, and they're getting all chirpy.
Yeah. Spursy at the wheels.
So it's a big derby for them, isn't it? Big London derby, that.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, if Spurs win this, that's a big giant killing today.
Yeah. So what do you think of Maguire? Again, Man United fans mix with him as well, mixed bag, because he has cost us some points this season, hasn't he, really, H? And go on. I was going to say about the first part. The second part of the question I was going to ask you is, do you think since he left Leicester, he's gone backward, or do you think he's improved?
I think in Leicester, if you're a good defender, it's a bit obvious. Like Johnny Evans looks amazing at Leicester at the moment, but because he's like the focal point, and I think that's the thing for Maguire. He was the focal point at Leicester. At Man United, you're going to be the focal point in that defence. But if you get a mistake, and I think that's something that we didn't see because it wasn't highlighted as much, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
While he was at Leicester. Yeah. For me, Maguire just needs to learn how to direct his headers. Something that really annoys me.
What about the rugby tackles?
The rugby tackles, I think that's just his legs, man. I think he's just got them tree trunks that are just literally elephant legs that just plant himself, and then you don't know where to pick it up from. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes he's like a baby Dumbo, isn't he? But I mean, he sticks his legs out, and next thing you know, it's a deflection and it's a goal. But if that's how the opponents is the only way they're going to score, it's the only way they're going to score in it. So I mean, we've got a few more clean sheets. He seems to have a good partnership with Lindelof. Bailly's obviously been excellent. So I think.
I've seen a stat today with him and Bailly. They played 13 start together and 9 clean sheets.
Yeah, but Bailly can't stay fit there, can he?
That's it.
Yeah. I think with Bailly, he's been a little bit. We've been unfortunate, right, with our injuries in defence. For the last 3-4 seasons.
Yeah.
So. I think for me, Bailly would have excelled alongside Lindelof, but the injury situation caused massive delays in where we would have been in our back four.
Yeah. So we've got Maguire will was it sprinting
We'll be
24?
spending 24 hours
Yeah.
after the game. City's movement is going to be a problem for United.
Yeah, well, it might be.
To
But
be fair,
last season,
Ollie's got a great record against City at the moment, hasn't
yeah, he has. Well, we're going to go into that later on, so we won't indulge and give him any secrets away yet. We'll keep him suspense for that one. So, do you guys reckon it could be? Obviously, I reckon it will be him that's starting tomorrow.
he? Yeah, definitely.
100%, it would definitely be him
Yeah.
starting. Yeah.
Now,
He's the best defender at the club. Why wouldn't he?
Bailly's the best one, but but we're gonna go with Twansibi. Now, again, divided
No.
United fans, injury prone.
No.
I believe he will go with Maguire tomorrow in partnership because Bailly is obviously. We got Lindelof who's out for back injury. Bailly at the moment is playing, but I don't know whether or not he will play him in this game, and I think he might rest him for the next 2 games until the Burnley game. H, what's your thoughts?
I like Axel. I like Axel a lot. I think he's got a lot to offer. He's another one that's coming from academy. He wouldn't be sitting on that first team bench if he was useless. For his experience, the game that he had against PSG, absolutely outstanding. He needs more time. He needs definitely a lot more game time. Do I think he's going to start? I think Bailly might get the nod over him just because of his performance and how they've worked, and obviously shutting down those lines. He's done it well. He throws his body on the line. I think that's the thing with
he does as well. That's why he get injured a lot.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Bailly. I think it's going to be one of them games where you're going to need that kind of mentality. I think with Axel, I think he'll do. If he does, he'll have a really good game. Genuinely, I think he will, because he's another one that wants to play for the club. He loves the club inside and out, and he'll do everything.
And he's not there for money.
Yeah, exactly. 95 minutes. He's been there. He loves it. He knows it in and out. So he'll give it 110%.
Yeah. Okay. A player that me and you spoke quite regular about, Crazy Man, is Wan-Bissaka, about his performance, and we didn't think he was performing until the last game. He actually proved us wrong, didn't he? Well, he proved me wrong. He turned up.
Yeah, he did turn up. He done well, actually. He was working well up and down that wing. I think he's got to start. He's got to start tomorrow. I mean, going back to Twansibi, I'd be happy to play with 10 men. If I'm honest. Given I watch every single United game. I've got a season ticket, and I've only ever seen him have one good game. I haven't seen anything else from him. He's been injured a lot.
Yeah, he's been injured, which is very unlucky. I always quote him as Leliking. It's almost like there's a great player there, but injury is going to prevent his career. That's the way I look at it.
No.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll be as injury prone as Ledley. I mean, he had two with the knees. Bless him, old Ledley.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. I might be wrong. He could go the rest of the season. He could, play brilliantly and get a regular spot on the team. But at the moment, I was really pissed off at him after that Leicester game. He only come on for 5 minutes, and he completely shot our back line to pieces, if I'm honest. And he was then playing right back.
Yeah, I know. It's a difficult one, but like I said, I've got sort of plenty of time for this player. I think he's young. He's 19 years old. He's from the academy. It seems like he's been around for a long time, and his injury will prove what a great player he can be for United. But my other player I'm going to pick now, and again, is Matic. What do you guys think?
I think that's a player for Watford, not City. Honest.
Yeah. What do you reckon, H?
I personally hope he doesn't play Matic. I think I like watching Matic when Crazy Mank said it's a game that he can play with the lower pace teams and the teams that are slow to build up their performance in the game.
Yeah.
So, and one thing that I find frustrating with Matic is that, like, there has been occasions where, his debut, I think that's like the best game that I've ever seen Matic, going on mad runs, doing turns, balls over, left, right and centre. With his current, it's just too side to side. Every time he gets it, it's side to side, it's side to side. Even Scott does a better job in taking the ball forward.
Scott's
and
got more legs than him, I reckon. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you reckon, Crazy Mank? Then, Matic or no?
Yeah, and like I said the other day with Matic, I said the one thing he does do well is that when he passes the ball, he always makes sure the person that's receiving the ball has a lot of time on it.
Yeah.
Once they receive it, if you go and look at other people's pass accuracy, even though it's good pass accuracy, you'll notice that the player that receives the ball tends to lose it.
Yeah.
Because Matic, he just knows that perfect time when to play the ball. He's that sort of player.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go for Matic. I'll probably, if you're going with a 2 sitting, one of them is going to be Pogba.
Yeah.
And
Come on. Let me at least get to Pogba.
No, the other one's going to be Fred.
Yeah. So I went with Pogba. I think Pogba will start this game as well. Sorry. Yeah. So United. Well, Shane, the formation I've picked is actually a formation where I believe we'll be sitting. We'll be sitting to counter-attack City.
Do you think we will?
Yeah. I honestly believe it will. What I've picked, I think it will happen. So we've got Pogba, guys. What do you guys about Pogba? I'm a Pogba in. I'm a big Pogba fan. So I think as well with Pogba, COVID, he was injured, like you said, with a niggly. He keeps carrying a niggly. Plus, he had COVID and he didn't recover properly in time this season. And I think now he's sort of like showing glimpses of recovery of a player what he is. All the games I've seen Pogba played in since what game can I go back to now? In the last 5 games. So imagine last 5 games. He's carried that game. He's carried like the team. H, what do you think? Can you hear me, H? I think his phone's going off. Yeah, can you hear me? Did you hear the question, yeah? Can you hear me?
No, do you want to...
Okay, go on, Adam, until H can hear me. Can you hear me, H, yeah? So I was saying... Oh, you got me, yeah? I was saying... a lot of people are divided with Pogba, but I think because of his injuries, niggle he's been carrying, and also COVID, which hit him quite hard, he's only recovering recently and showing form of what brilliant player he is.
So for me, I think you're right. I think there's been a lot of overall situations for Pogba. I won't go into all of them, but I think the fact that he's showing his true potential, whether he's performing to get a move, that's someone else, but we'll take it for the rest of the season if we win the league,
Yeah, that's why I look at it. Yeah. Crazy man, I know you're gone.
And I was just going to say, for me, I think, like, obviously distribution, we know what he can do. We just need him to turn up and have his mind active on the day, not be sleepy, not be lazy, not trying to do too much fanciness.
Do you think though, if we do win the league, do you think he'd then change his mind and sort of be wanting to stay?
No.
Is that aimed at me?
Well, just in general.
Yeah. I think he will. Personally, I think he's got a big decision to make, whether he does stay or not. And I think if we win the league and there's potential for us to, if we win 2 things, say for example this year, then I think it's more in his favour to maybe stay, because the reason why he came back is to help Man United win. He keeps saying it all the time. So hopefully he'll he'll keep that mentality and that and come through.
Yeah, because I feel like there's two parts as well. Because his agents come out and said, "Oh, United promised us that we're going to win trophies," but also he hasn't held up his part of. Someone needs to tell him that he actually has to do something to help us win the trophies as well, because he hasn't done a lot other than, I think his biggest contribution was scoring in the Europa League final, and that's the most important goal he scored for us so far.
No, I think it's a Man City derby. Actually, he scored that brace.
Yeah, but we would never. That's just delaying the inevitable, though, isn't it? They were already going to win the league. It's just I'm happy they didn't do it.
We stopped them
at
exactly at Old Trafford.
Yeah,
So he stepped up.
But his most important goal has got to be the Europa League final. It helped us win the trophy.
Yeah.
But ever since that season, he fell out with Mourinho the next season, and then he's not really been the same player.
But again, go on.
He had that spell when Ollie first came in. And then as soon as that season ended, his agent started kicking up a fuss again. So, yeah, I think it's the agent that's the issue.
Yeah, it is. I think it is. Well done to be. So do we reckon Pogba's starting tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
The man of the moment,
Definitely.
Bruno Fernandez. He hasn't missed a game. Oops, we've missed him. We've lost him. He'll come back on.
So are you playing two sitting in?
Yes, I'm going to be putting Pogba and hold on, and we'll drop out. Yeah, you're back. Yeah. I'm playing two sitting. We've got Pogba and Matic sitting, and then Bruno in front of him.
Right.
So then we're gonna have, because we're gonna probably need to get these ones done because them guys are going live in about 10 minutes as well.
Okay.
So I've got Bruno sitting. So because you're new to the show, so let's ask you the question. Bruno Fernandez, what a signing.
Unbelievable. I think he's been the Premier League's best signing in the last 2 years, for performance, for how quickly he's adapted to English football. I mean, playing in Portugal, the pace, the speed is nowhere near. The intensity, the level of matches is nowhere near the quality the Premier League has, and the way he's just taking it on. You know, he wears his heart on his sleeve all day long. The only thing that he wants to do is win. He wakes up, he's a winner, an out-and-out goal scorer, an out-and-out team player. I mean, he's got everything. You know, we've seen him score with his head, we've seen him score with his foot. He's probably even scored with his finger, but we won't even know. Like literally, like the guy could probably score with anything. Like genuinely, I think he's been that consistent and that good.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing as well is that he's pushed the mediocre. You know, like if Tom Cleverley was there, he'll probably be like a world-class player right now. You know what I mean, next to Bruno.
Yeah, exactly. But do you think, though, again, before we come on to you, Crazy Man, the United fans are divided about him as well? I don't get it.
In what sense? Like, to be honest with you, most of the fans that I've spoken to, you can't fault Bruno. He gives it. And if anyone's got any issues with Bruno, then they need to come onto the show and we'll have it out. That's what I say.
Yeah. No, but that's what I mean. There's a lot of people and I don't understand why.
I think sometimes the frustration boils down to some of the decision making. The goal against Leicester, it was his fault. He could have got rid of the ball a lot quicker from his feet. You know, there are certain things that he does. I think a good example is Luke Shaw turned around and said, "Well, if Bruno loses a ball, we have to do all the work to chase up," and because his pass, you know, we know that not every single pass is going to be perfect, right? But we've got to make sure that we limit those mistakes, and I think that's
100%.
just part of his. I think that's just part of his game that he'll fine tune as time comes, and I'm more excited about next season
than this season.
And I've said that from the beginning. I go, once we've got a settled 11, it's going to be an exciting journey for them.
Yeah, Crazy Mank. Bruno Fernandez. Why do you think? Again, I'm asking the same question because it's baffling me. Like United fans are divided about him, but like what H just said, it's to do with the whole sort of you don't know sometime when he goes back in that defense what he's going to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think he loses the ball quite a lot, which obviously I see a lot of United fans on Twitter slating him about. But I also think it's because he's not as pretty on the eye as well with his play. Like they always bring up the comparison to De Bruyne.
Yeah, but his stats speaks volume.
Yes, City of that slick, beautiful passing team.
Yeah,
we're not that yet. We're about under Ollie at the moment is get that result.
That's it. But that's what the game is, isn't it? It's about results.
Yeah, get that result, and he does what we need him to do and more at the moment. Without Bruno, Jesus, I don't even want to think about where we would be in the league the way it's been.
Exactly.
Probably down with Arsenal.
There you go. Be relegation battles.
But I can't really fault him. He's got to start.
Yeah. For me now, I'm gonna probably go through the next three players. Spend about a minute or two on them. The first player I'm gonna come with is gonna be Greenwood. Now, obviously, Ole dropped him in the beginning of the season, because of the antics or whatever he was doing. We don't know. It's media quoting stuff, but I don't believe in a lot of the media. Again, Crazy Mank, he's not really featured, but when he's doing it, he doesn't look as dangerous as he did last season, does he?
No, I kind of hope. He's obviously got great talent, great finisher. I think everyone keeps saying he's the best finisher at the club, but I'm really hoping that he's not a one-season wonder. Because you see it with a lot of players, don't you, at that age, that they come in, smash it for the first season, then tail off. I think it would come. He's obviously had a lot of personal stuff going on. Obviously, his friend passed away.
Yeah.
The stuff that happened at England, it don't matter who you are, that's going to affect you.
Of course it will.
And things like I think it'll come good. I don't think he's going to start tomorrow. Personally, I think Ollie's going to do what he does against City quite a lot, is play Dan James on the right.
Stop giving my things away. So I've gone for Greenwood. I've gone for Greenwood, and I've gone for Martial. And I think the reason you play Martial is a bit more confidence, to give him a bit more thing. Because again, I'm a big Martial fan, and I think he does things what other people don't see. And what I've noticed in his last 2 or 3 games since coming back from injury, it's almost like he brings everyone into play now. So it's almost like he's got a bigger and a wider game now around him. So he's bringing in people into play more now, and he's doing a bit more career, and he's defending a bit more as well. H, what do you make of him? Because again, he's been. If he had a name again, I don't know, a Foban or something like that, he wouldn't get criticised in the media.
I think the thing with Martial, he's been there for a few seasons now. We've got to remember he's not as young as some of the other lads. So I mean, last season he stepped it up, consistent, playing
Best
at number
ever,
9.
Yeah, best ever, isn't it? Goal scoring record.
You know, Mourinho done a few things, taking his shirt and all that. That's going to get you back up. You know, giving it to Lukaku and then putting him as 11 and all that kind of stuff. So you know, there was a lot of things during the Mourinho period that Martial would have switched off, and now he's switched back on. His header the other day, I can't even remember the last time I see Martial score a header. So
there you go.
I think he's obviously goal against Tottenham.
Yeah, that was a killer goal. That was a killer goal, man. It was just the wrong way. But I think, like you say, you know, so that's obviously coming from experienced people like Cavani in training, learning, and that. So I think we're going to see a different Martial over the rest of this season than we've ever seen. I think you're right. It brings a lot of other players into play. Him and Rashford, they're becoming telepathic in where they're going to be. You know, I see a Yorkie Coley kind of partnership coming up there. And then obviously with Greenwood in the background, like you mentioned, he's going to be interesting. But I think Daniel James will get the nod ahead of Greenwood and maybe bring Greenwood in as a sub because we ain't got Cavani tomorrow.
Yeah. And Crazy Man, Martial?
Do I have to answer? No,
yeah, you do.
Yeah. No, I think he's going to start. I said I'm a bit reserved on him, but he's obviously learning a lot from Cavani at the moment.
Yeah.
I think he will get better this season. My problem is that I think you said it yourself. He hit his record goals scored last year.
Yeah.
And he's then dipped off, which my argument is he's never been consistent. And for me, he misses more than he scores.
Yeah.
A lot more. A lot of easy chances that, you had a striker, if you had a striker like Wayne Rooney or Van Nistelrooy or something like that, these chances being put away 9 times out of 10. And it just seems a bit too inconsistent to start as your number 9 every week.
Yeah.
Do you think he's better coming in from the wing?
Definitely. But it's one of them as well because Rashford's lethal from there as well. If I had a choice, I would have 2 players on that wing and bench one, Rashford starting for me.
You see, for me...
But trouble is, I do like Martial. I want him to play well, but he's just too inconsistent.
See, for me, if I had a choice, I'd put Cavani up top, play Rashford on the right, and put Martial on the left. Because Rashford can play on the right.
He's not as
prolific, but he can adapt to it. He's probably better adapting than Martial.
Yeah, I mean, if you were playing a 4-4-2, I'd leave Martial on the left and play Rashford in the front 2.
Yeah,
if it was me, because he's lethal from anywhere. To be fair, Rashford.
And going into the last player, we're looking at Dan James starting, and he's been linked with so many moves away from Old Trafford in this January transfer window. Again, for me, I'm a fan, but I'm not a big fan of his. And the reason I'm saying it is, it's like we talk about Martial sort of not consistent. I believe he's not been consistent since the first 3 games he played. He's only played probably 1 half decent game this season. Crazy Man, why do you think that is then?
I'm not sure. I can't really pinpoint that. Obviously, he's got the pace, which is why he's perfect in these sorts of games, which is why Ollie plays him in these sorts of games. But yeah, he's not consistent at all. He's not really a the world's best finisher. And I think it's probably his size more than anything, which is why he gets pushed out of the team a lot.
Yeah.
Because he can't, if we're counter-attacking teams all game, perfect.
Yeah.
Which is why you get bought in for City. But if you're playing week in, week out, then he's not going to survive against a physical team.
H, on this as well, do you think when you watch him play, he just runs like a headless chicken? His head's down and he just runs, doesn't he?
Firstly, I'd like to say that I'd like to run as quick as him. But
very true.
That is not possible. But, yeah, I mean, I think the reason why we see him running around like that is because he wants to show he's good enough. I think he's enthusiastic. I watched the Wales game when he scored that banger. Yeah. And he was running up and down the wings. He has got a shot on him. For a little guy, he's got a powerful shot because to put that ball in the back of the net like he does.
Brentford just scored.
Yeah, they have. Brentford have just scored.
Yeah.
Is that 1-0?
Yep.
Yeah, 1-0. And guess who it is? It's mate. Hold on.
Is it that guy we were talking about earlier, wasn't it?
Oh, he might be offside. Is he going to be offside? Oh.
Come on.
Oh, no, he's onside. He's onside.
Brilliant. We'll take it.
Come on.
He's onside. He's got to be onside. Come on.
The final, boys.
Either Tony playing him.
That's who we're playing in the final, Brentford.
Nah, not yet. Because I think Spurs is part of the boss now, isn't it? Oh, sorry, guys, because the Tottenham show is on now as well. Okay, so yeah, Green. For me, Daniel James. Sorry, we're cracking on with Daniel James. Yeah, I think he'll start tomorrow.
Yeah,
he will start. I think we all say will start. Now, obviously, Man City have been depleted with injury, but boy, did they beat Chelsea? Did they beat Chelsea? They annihilated Chelsea. Oh, they beat Chelsea up.
Frank got his tactics wrong, didn't he?
Yeah, but I think what I've seen here is there was rumours about Guardiola is going to rest quite a lot of players because I think they've got some games they have to catch up with as well. So they're going to be playing us tomorrow. I think straight away they're playing on Saturday again, and then they're playing on Tuesday again or something like that. And
there's also the new thing about five subs as well, isn't there? So I mean, that's a big talking point. I think personally should have just kept it as 3, just because City have got coronavirus and all that. That's down to their own players and the management of their own club. So
yeah, and again, it's their player who's been caught 3 times as well now, and it seems like it's been disallowed goal. It's been disallowed.
Yeah, it's been disallowed.
Been disallowed.
Yep.
That was a long. That was a long wait.
Yeah, it's disallowed. Yeah,
his kneecap was offside.
So yeah, exactly.
Christ.
Yeah, so I think also what we're doing as well today for the first time, as you can see, VAR is involved as well. So VAR is involved. But crazy man, 5 subs. What the hell's going on?
I don't know. I don't see the point. Everyone keeps calling for this, and I think Pep and Klopp were the ones that called for it on the weekend. That they both used 1 sub each.
Yeah.
Makes no sense to me, but it's not gonna. There's no point in doing it if it's only going to benefit the top 6 clubs.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to benefit the smaller clubs. They haven't got.
They don't have no one. They don't have
don't have them players to make 5 subs. Now you're putting the pressure on the manager.
Yeah.
To play players that you don't want to play.
I saw a stat the other day as well saying, in the championship now they do 5 subs as well. Basically, all the top teams there in the championship, they'll be losing at half time, and second half they'll win because they make all 5 subs by second half.
But that's the problem, isn't it? Because then it's not like you're going to go in 20 minutes and do a sub, is it?
Yeah.
But tactically, the reason why 3 subs has been around is for the second half of a game when players are fatigued. That was the reason why 3 subs were there. And look, for as long as I've been alive, it's been 3 subs.
Yeah.
And in those days, those guys were out drinking and smoking fags. Like nowadays, they're fitter and healthier than they ever should be.
More elite players
in their fitness. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old.
Yeah, that's it. So going into, before we close it down, guys, let's talk about head-to-head. United have played City 159 times. United have won 63 of those. Man City 48, and actually another record, 48 drawn as well. In the cup competition, United have played City 5 times, won 3 and lost 2.
Yeah,
and
exactly the same was what scoreline's going to be tomorrow then.
I love the confidence there. So, have you, H? What sort of way do you reckon you can see this team tomorrow? How can you see it going tomorrow?
I think the Carabao Cup's Pep's little baby, isn't it? He's won it enough times. I think the team are quite proud of winning it. I think it would be a good situation for us to come through and beat them. I think we're more hungry for it than they are.
Yeah.
Because they know that they've got injuries. He knows that he's got a depleted squad. So their focus is going to be trying to climb back up the table because they don't want to have another season where they're sitting in the second place. They want to be contending as well. So I think it's all to play for, personally, between both the teams. But I think we're going to come through a bit better than them. just because I think we've just got a bit more consistency in our performances over the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, crazy man. A lot of when you look at some of these stats here, and everyone talk about how United are 2 to 3 years, Liverpool 2 to 3 years behind Man United and things like that. Yeah, when you look at the Man United, Man City stats, Man United in our last 5 meetings, City have only beaten us once, and that was in the first round of the Carabao Cup last season. So far, United have beaten them 3 times, drawn once, and lost once to them.
Yeah, I think it's since Ollie's come in, he set them up well for that counter attack against City. Whereas I think that 0-0 draw in the league the other day, I think City caught us out a little bit because we were expecting City to come in, just keep the possession, and we were going to counter attack. But they come in doing the similar sort of things to what we were doing.
Spurs just scored.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
When is the DVD coming out?
Sort of City come in the 0-0 draw, sort of backing off a little bit as well, which we weren't expecting that from City.
Yeah.
So it all depends what. I think Pep done that because he's been caught out by a counter attack the last 4 out of 5 times.
Yeah.
I'm undecisive. It's going to be one of them where it's going to be a really boring game, or it's going to be a real thriller with both teams just scoring as many as they can get.
Yeah.
I'd like to think there'll be a load of goals in it and be a really entertaining
It won't be.
game.
It'll be a tight game.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, then H, as you're the special guest, have you got any anything at all you want to add to it? Any stats you've got or anything you want to put on the table before we call it a day?
Our stadium's bigger than Man City's. Our fans are better than Man City's. We've won more titles. We are Man United. We're going to win. And that's all I'm going to say. I think 2-1 to United.
Crazy man?
Yeah, 3-2.
I'm going 2-1 as well. I'm going 2-1.
It's hard, isn't it, on this video to go and banter a City fan because there's not one online. So
3-2 if Henderson's in goal, 2-1 if De Gea's in goal. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. You go.
Actually, to be fair, are they even going to have Edison back?
No, he's injured. He's out. He's out.
Yeah, so
Scott McTominay to score another open goal.
They've got that guy. What's his name? They've got in goal tomorrow. If I'm right to say, Stefan. They will have in goal.
Yeah, even better.
Never heard of him. Didn't even know who he is. So
exactly.
Yeah. But guys, let's wrap it up. Once we put down, just stay there, yeah, guys. So, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Thanks, H. Massive appreciation you jumping on. Hopefully, we'll see you again on the show soon.
Thanks for
Crazy
having me,
man.
guys.
Yeah, that's welcome. Crazy man. Pleasure as always. We'll be back tomorrow morning for another transfer show.
Are we doing Sorry. Are we doing post reaction to this game tomorrow night?
You guys up for it? H, you up for it?
Yeah, I could do it. Yeah, no worries.
Yep. Okay, that's it then. So it's got it sorted out then. Post reaction match afterwards. Win, lose, or draw, boys. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, share, like the page, and we'll see you guys 11 o'clock tomorrow for the FTB Sports Transfer Daily Show. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Catch you later.